Hi, I'm Beth Salt and I'm the Co-op Consultant for Business Programs at Georgian College, and I'm going to give you a little bit more information about the independent job search today. If you haven't already, please watch Co-op Job Search 101 and Job Search 201 to give you some basics of how to use Georgian Connects for your job search and also some basic resources for your independent job search. But today I'm going to try to go into some more in-depth and different resources for you. First of all, you need to get to the student portal, and hopefully by now you have saved this site. But I'm in the student portal and I clicked Student Services at the top, and then I came to Career, Co-op and Field Placement, and this is the landing page. And today, instead of going to the job posting boards, which I showed you last time, I'm going to come here to the job searching resources and show you a few things. I'm also going to show you some other resources in the portal. The first thing to notice is the job search game plan. The job search game plan, you can download it. It's just a simple Word document. There's nothing glamorous, but it does have a lot of helpful information in it. It covers everything from how to target your resume and your cover letter, to how to go to a career fair and introduce yourself to an employer, which not many people have been doing since COVID hit us. Also, where to find hidden job market, where to find jobs that are not posted. And I'm going to hopefully teach you a little bit of that today. It'll give you some parameters for how to speak to a hiring manager if you have the opportunity to do that. And it'll give you just some resources for creating a decent LinkedIn profile and using LinkedIn well. Additionally, it's going to give you some resources on how to plan your job search, how to have a goal for it, and how to think about what you would want. So you can just download this from the student portal and have that when you're feeling overwhelmed or when you're feeling like you don't know where to start. The other thing that I would want you to look at is the job search record sheet. This is just a very basic spreadsheet. There's nothing glamorous here, but the purpose of having this record is for you to be able to keep track of what you've been doing. Who have you been applying to and where did you find that posting and what positions? The students often get themselves into a frenzy of applying for jobs as they get closer to the start of their co-op, and then they start forgetting who they applied to and when and who and where and why. So this will help you stay on track. The other reason that this is really useful is if you're trying to meet with your co-op consultant and he or she is trying to help you with your job search strategy. They only can see what you're doing in Georgian Connects. So this will give them some extra information about what keywords you're using when you're looking for open postings, and where are you looking in the world, like what geographical area, and also what results you're getting from your applications. If you're not getting interviews, we need to look at your resume and cover letter and see if you're positioning yourself well. If you are getting interviews but you're not getting job offers, then we need to look at whether your interview skills could use some polish, or whether you're just not applying for the right jobs that are a good fit for you. Let's have a look at some more resources in this section here. You'll notice that there is a section on how to use LinkedIn and how to network well. I'm not going to go into it in too much detail because there's a lot of content already on YouTube. But when it comes to LinkedIn, there's a lot of things that you can do in order to help you. So I'm just over here in my LinkedIn account right now. And one thing that I would recommend you do is follow a company you would really, really love to work for. So let's say you really, really want to work for a bank. I would say pick some of the banks that you would like to work for and then follow them. You can follow TD Bank. You can also follow people. You can also add connections. So if there's somebody you've never heard of and they've never heard of you and you want to connect with them, it's usually best if you can reach out to them with a note explaining who you are and why you would want to connect. Just getting random connection notices from people I've never heard of, I don't typically accept them. The other thing that you can do in LinkedIn that's helpful for your job search is to use the learning tools. Make sure you log in as a Georgian College student using your Georgian College email, because you'll have free access to all of these training courses. And if you're in the middle of the job search and you are able to, taking one or two of these courses could be something to add to your resume that might be helpful for you. You select what areas you're interested in, and then it gives you matches for your interests. So I've got Excel and I've also got writing emails people want to read, and you'll see a lot of other things that might be of interest to you. Everything in here. So if you're an accounting student or a marketing student, there's technical things in here. And if you log in as a Georgian College student, it's all free. All right, let's go back here now. And I'm going to show you some ways that you can job search using keywords. Now, if we were job searching as a business student, the labor market information in the student portal resources here, and you're just going to have a look at this right now. This quick grad facts sheet, there's one for every program that we have at Georgian, and the information on it is a little bit out of date. We haven't been collecting a lot of information from students in the last 2 years with COVID, but this information I'm showing you right now is still relevant. These are potential job titles for entry-level positions. So you could use some of these job titles if you're interested in something as a jumping off point for your job search. You go into Indeed or into LinkedIn or into any of the other job sites I showed you in Job Search 201 and type in, look for a clerical assistant, look for a human resources coordinator, look for a researcher position, and see what kind of things you can come up with. These are position titles that are quite general still, so you should get a few hits if you're having trouble finding things. The other thing I want to show you in your Grad Fact Sheet, and every single Grad Fact Sheet has them, is related websites. In business, we have the entrepreneurial websites, but the first three are associations. And have a look for your association that's relevant to you, because often they'll have a newsletter or they'll have a listserv. They might post jobs in the field for graduates. They might also have professional development opportunities. So take advantage of some of the opportunities available to you as a student, because often you can get a reduced rate and you're networking with professionals in your field if you're part of that. The other thing that I want you to see is in career planning. If you're trying to figure out what is it that I need to do in order to be a successful accountant, then you can look at ONET Online, and you can also look at, and many of Canadian students will know Career Cruising from high school. Career Cruising is a Canadian site, and as a student at Georgian you have free access to it, but use this hyperlink here. Don't just Google it, or you'll have to pay the subscription, or it'll ask you for a subscription. So Career Cruising is Canadian, ONET is American, but I will show it to you because it does have a lot of features that we don't see in Cruising. Okay, so I just typed in a general job title and it gives you some specific ones. Let's say you're really, really interested in knowing about working in an insurance company. There are people out there who are interested in working in insurance companies. So this is going to give you an overview of what sort of tasks you would be expected to complete, kind of software you might use, what would be expected from you, and it would give you a really good overview of the sorts of things that you would need to know. Why do I need to know this? Because if you are approaching a company that have not posted a position and you want to work for them, you need to have an idea of what sort of things matter to them and what sort of things they're looking for. This will help you. This will give you information about the sort of tasks and skills you would need to be able to work in that job. And then you can figure out how to approach the company that you want to work for. It's a matter of strategy. It's also a matter of showing your appeal to the employer. Just going to go back here for a second. So if you go into the job posting boards and you don't find that there's a position posted, then the next thing you can do is go to our old friend Google. Yes, I said Google. And let's say you wanted to work in a geographical area. Okay, and I'm just going to go to the map, and here is my location, and I'm going to type in insurance. Oops, except I'm going to spell it right. No, I'm not. I'm still not spelling it right. There we go. Eventually I'll spell it right. Okay, and here's a list of insurance agencies. So now I'm going to go back to where I closed it, Insurance Claims and Policy Processing Clerk, and I'm going to look at the sorts of things that an insurance agency might look for, and I'm going to prepare my resume to these specifications, I'm going to write a cover letter. Don't worry, I'm going to explain that too. I'm going to write a cover letter that would match this sort of work, and then I would send it to these brokers. Now, bear in mind, they might not read your cover letter at all. So networking with them using LinkedIn, perhaps meeting them at a professional event or meeting them in a career fair would be a really good way to open up that door. But cold calling, which is what we call it, is still something that you can do in order to find a job for a co-op. The last thing I want to show you is how to decide whether or not the job that you're considering or that's been offered to you would be qualifying as a co-op. The best way to find that out is to check the co-op form, the co-op learning outcomes for your program. So go into co-op forms and find your program. So we're going to stick with BUSG. Let's pretend you did get offered an insurance position. Business co-op learning outcomes right there. And we'll zoom in so you can actually read it. There you go, business administration learning outcomes. So based on your assessment, does this job as an as an insurance claims clerk or assistant match at least 2 of these co-op learning outcomes? And if you believe so, then go ahead and set up a work term record in Georgian Connects. If you're not sure, then reach out to your co-op consultant or your employer relations consultant for advice. I hope that's helpful, and if you do have any questions about your job search strategy or you would like some support, please reach out and make an appointment with your co-op consultant in Georgian Connects. Thank you for watching.